People say, well, money can't buy happiness, and they're absolutely right. But it does make it easier.
I firmly believe that.
I really look at money as being something that is totally unessential, but something that you should certainly try and have enough of. It means that there are problems that you would have if you didn't have money that you just won't have, to the same extent.
If the world collapses, if wars begin, if everything else, I'm not sure that it matters from an economic standpoint what happens as far as Trump is concerned, but I would like to think that I can weather most, and I would like to think that most people can.
I don't want more or less than anybody else.
My life was so great in so many ways.
I think I've done a really great job of getting out of trouble. Well, nobody's bailing me out. I bail myself out.
I was at the highest of all pedestals. Beautiful wife, beautiful everything. The hottest in the country. I mean, life was just a bowl of cherries. The highest point, everything I touched turned to gold immediately. Everything I did turned to gold, and life started getting boring. And then one day, the pedestal was knocked out from under me.
I had $975 million worth of personal debt.
It was unbelievable, to be perfectly honest, and it's really not that big a situation,
I think that I'm a rather, and you will be surprised, but I can be a rather humble person if I want to be, if I feel I'm in the right environment. You're always guarded. I'm not going to let my guard down because you happen to be asking me questions.
I believe that perhaps I'm portrayed differently than I actually am. I believe I'm portrayed in a rougher sense than the actual product. And I hope that's true, because I hope the actual product is a lot more mellow than the portrayal.
I think people see me as a fighter. I think people have always seen me as a fighter. They know that I don't take a lot of crap from people and from others, and my life would be a lot easier if I did, to be perfectly honest.
Well, I don't know, is that supposed to be a compliment or not? I'm not sure.
Now, when you're in a depression, you have to sort of go with the punches. You have to go see your banks. You have to deal with people. I used to say to people, someday I'd like to be poor, just for a little while, just to see who's going to remain loyal to me. And I think that's the thing that I learned more than anything else. There were specifically 24 or 25 people that I have earmarked who were very disloyal, who shouldn't have been disloyal.
It is a shame, isn't it?
Yes.
It is a shame. It is just absolutely and totally ridiculous.
Because I'm like this great loyalty freak. I'm loyal to a point of the absurd. I stay with people.
I like to listen to people, what they think.
I create stars. I love creating stars.
And there are very capable people in this country.
But I love to help people. I do. I love helping people. There's nothing better. There's nothing that makes me feel better.
It's like a creation process. It's almost like creating a building. I built this empire, and I did it by myself. Nobody did it for me.
You have no idea the pressure that's put on me by everybody in the country.
I think it's a very mean life.
Well, you never really know. I think I'm pretty outspoken, and that's not probably a good thing in terms of a politician.
Well, it becomes a somewhat impersonal life, unfortunately, and I will tell you that I'm not sure that that's a very good thing or a very healthy thing, but it's where I am, and there's not, unfortunately, very much I can do about it, but maybe I wouldn't want to.
Wall Street has a lot of respect for Trump.
Well, respect can lead to other things, and you can create the right attitude.
I mean, I've done a lot. I've done things that I really enjoy, and I've done things that I hope are aesthetically pleasing to all of you folks in terms of New York and what I've done in other places.
We're very proud of it, and that's really pretty much where I want to be. So I enjoy the creative process. I like building things. I like building beautiful buildings. I like doing other things. It really gives you something to do with your life, and it's something that you can feel fulfilled and proud of when you're finished.
And so I just keep going forward.
And when I'm not excited, something, I'm going to stop.
And I enjoy what I do. I love what I do, and I hope I do it well. I've always said, you know, money isn't a totally essential ingredient, but it does make life a little bit easier. I really have a theory that some people are not destined to make a lot of money, and that's fine, and they can be very happy. Not everybody is meant to be a business person. Those people shouldn't be, because they'll ruin their lives. I mean, they'll go and they'll put up their house, and they'll mortgage their cars and everything else they own, and they'll go into business, and they shouldn't necessarily be in business. They might learn that, and they also might learn that they shouldn't try making too much money. I have my friends. I have some very, very good friends, and I guess I have some very good enemies, and I like it that way somehow. And I really believe in trashing your enemies and really being loyal to your friends. I'm a strong believer in loyalty.
I absolutely feel that, yes. I don't think there's any question, and there's no question in my mind.
I'm absolutely a believer in marriage. I'm an absolute believer in fidelity. But if a marriage isn't working, that's a different ballgame.
It's like my mother and father. They were married 63 years. And it was just one of those things. It wasn't work. I've always heard you have to work at a good relationship. My father didn't work at a good relationship. He went home, he had dinner, he went to bed, he took it easy, he watched television. My mother, the same thing. She cooked them dinner. But I always heard you have to work. I mean, that's it. A relationship we have to work at it, in my opinion, doesn't work. So maybe I'm wrong. I work very hard from early in the morning till late in the evening. I don't want to go home and have to work at a relationship.
I think that a lot of people would disagree with that, and I think most people would disagree, and I think that's great. I mean, that's what it's all about. I hate the concept of a prenuptial agreement because it basically says, if and when you get divorced, this is what. And there's something very bad about that. But I think it's a modern day necessity. Well, I guess I look at everything like a deal. I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. The reason for a prenuptial agreement is it takes away uncertainty. When it takes away uncertainty, it's quiet, it's nice, it's clean.
And frankly, I guess there's a limit.
I think that because somebody marries somebody that built something huge, doesn't necessarily mean that just because they get a divorce that they should end up, you know, like the Queen of Sheba. Not Ivana, not Marla, nobody.
I want them to be happy, absolutely. They're the mother of my children, the mothers of my children. So I want them to be happy, and I have a good relationship with both of them. If you have the money, having children is great. There's nothing like a good marriage, and there's nothing like having children. I have 4 great children.
As far as myself, I think I'm a very good father. I've been a very good provider, and I guess you have to leave it like that. I believe that if a man leaves a woman for almost any reason, that particular person, the man, is going to be at a major disadvantage in terms of the public eye. There's no question about it. I didn't think of it that way. See, you tend not to think of it that way. You know, they develop sort of an image for somebody, and that's what they want to go with.
Nothing much I can do about it.
I did learn for myself that I don't want to be open. I don't want to make myself vulnerable. I also learned that you have to do what you want to do.